السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So, continuing on from the last live, I want to give you one benefit and a reminder, inshallah. And that reminder is beware of people that are two-faced. People that are two-faced individuals where if you were to go against them, they're going to start saying you're this and you're that and evil. And then when they want to speak to your face, they speak very, So beware of people that are like that. That's my advice to you. Such people like this that act a certain way. These people act a certain way like this. This is number one, not from the ways of the people of knowledge. And this is why I have said that the knowledge that this person has been seeking for 20-something years has clearly not benefited him. It has clearly not benefited him. Now, that's the issue with Abrar Basit. And there's so much, but just to save time, I'm not going to go through all of these things. And again, people that are saying, where are the proofs and evidences? Go to Zulfiker and ask him and see if he denies. If he denies it, then tell him, come out in public if you are indeed truthful. Now, the next thing is the issue with Nasir al-Libi. And now that issue with Nasir al-Libi. Who is Nasir al-Libi? And what is Nasir al-Libi's relationship with Zulfiker? Well, the first time I met Nasir al-Libi was the first time I actually met Zulfiker, which was around 3 years ago. That was the first time I met him. And I didn't really know who he was at that time. It was just Nasir al-Libi. I didn't know who he was. And then I did a bit of research in it, and I was seeing who this person was promoting and who Nasir al-Libi was bringing in. And you see he's bringing in these Ash'aris and this and that. And I already knew this person was already weak in manhaj. So again, it's either Zulfiqar did not know that Nasir al-Libi was weak in manhaj, or he did know but he was weak, so he would just stay silent. It's one of those two. It's either those two. He either knew or he didn't know. Okay. Give me a few seconds, my brother's speaking again. Okay, that was my brother that was speaking in another room. Just told him to silent down. So, Nasir al-Libi, the first time I met him was when I met Zulfiqar. And I didn't know much about him at that time, but then as soon as I went home, I did a bit of research and I already knew this person was weak. And from that day, from that instance, I was constantly telling Zulfiqar about Nasir al-Libi. I was the one. I don't know about other people. I wasn't communicating with other people, but it was me that was constantly showing him about Nasir al-Libi. It was me, Hanif, that was constantly telling him about Nasir al-Libi. Okay? But it's clear why he has never gone out in public and warned against Nasir al-Libi or said that I am free from Nasir al-Libi. It's clear why he hasn't gone out and mentioned Nasir al-Libi. And the reason is very clear. I've got the evidence here. So I said, and this is what I said to him, December 2020, the 23rd of December 2020. And I've got the proofs and evidences here. I said to Zulfiqar, I said, Sheikh, this guy Nasir has been battered since I can remember. In terms of manhaj, he's someone who's been battered since I can remember. People don't normally turn away from their batteredness except for the one whom Allah has mercy upon. The same as Abrar. He's been the same even after being spoken to. These people won't change unless Allah allows them to change. And you know what Zulfiqar said to me? Then we have to let go of them. We have to let go of them. You know? Like the way he was speaking to me and the way I was dealing with these issues. Number one, now he's saying I'm a jahil, I'm a nobody. But he would speak to me and consult with me about these issues. and I would inform him about these issues. But now I'm a no one, I don't know nothing, I haven't studied under any scholar, I'm a jahil, I'm a rawaybid, I'm this and I'm that. You know what he said? He said, this is what Zulfiker said to me. He said, I have thought about what's been happening, and we are at war with these people who have tarnished the Salafi manhaj and watered it down, and now are claiming that this is the Salafi manhaj. The Hizbiyya is in all sides with SP and SRI and co. The fact that you speak and it reaches 1,000, if that was not the case, they would not be bothered like Haji. Allah grant you a place in Medina and make you a scholar of Islam and a strong student. This is what Zulfiker said to me. But now today I'm a nobody, I'm a nothing, I'm no one, I'm a rawaybid, I'm a jahil, I'm this and I'm that. So, back to the issue with Nasr al-Libi. I was the one that was constantly informing him. But why was he not letting go of Nasr al-Libi? He said, with Nasir, I would not share a platform or work with him officially. But he has influence on the masjids. And I advise him and keep advising him. And knew that door open for the masjids. Because Nasr al-Libi is the one who allows Zulfiker to be given khutbahs in maybe one masjid or other masajid. So is that the reason why Zulfiker is not coming out and speaking out against Nasr al-Libi? Nasr al-Libi, you should know this yourself. You should know that Zulfiker thinks and says that you are weak in manhaj and that you're battered. You should know this, Nasr al-Libi. This is who you are. This is who you may see to be your friend, Nasr al-Libi. You should see how he speaks about you, Nasr al-Libi. This is who you think is your friend, Nasr al-Libi. He's not your friend. If he makes it out to seem like he's your friend, he's not your friend. If he is, then he is upon the same way as you are, in your weakness in manhaj. Why? Because, Nasr al-Libi, he has the doors to the masjids and this and this. How many times have I, this was 2020, December 2020. That was more than a year, that was more than 2 years ago that I was speaking to him about Nasr al-Libi. And then there was another instance that occurred. With Nasr al-Libi. He had a conference, okay? He had a conference, and there was 2 conferences. One conference that was supposedly with the people of knowledge only, and the second conference was with these battered people in the West. And the moment I saw Zulfikar's name that was on this poster, it was me that told Zulfikar to get out. Zulfikar was not going to get out by himself. It was me that informed him of these things. It was me that got him to leave, okay, that talk that Nasr al-Libi put him in. And he gave an excuse to Nasr al-Libi and this and this. But it was me that told him about this issue. It was me that gave him, Zulfikar, the link between this talk that is supposed for only the people of knowledge, and another talk that has the same similar names but with the battered people. I said, look at this, Zulfiqar. By having these 2 talks, they're going to make it out to seem that these people in the West are connected with the people of knowledge. Look at this. And Zulfiqar wants to say, I'm a jahil, I'm a nobody, I'm a rawaybid. Yeah, how many times, Zulfiqar, was I the one informing you of these things which you did not know, which you are a jahil about, which you did not know? And you want to say, I'm a coward, rawaybid, jahil, this, I don't know nothing, I've never studied under anyone. Come on, Zulfiqar. But I know your ways, and I know your reality, and your reality is going to become clear and clear for the people to see. It's already clear with how it was with the Abrar issue. Okay? And now it's clear with Nasr al-Libi. We know why you're not going to mention Nasr al-Libi out in public. It's either you're weak, Zulfiqar, you're weak. That's what it is. You're afraid. You don't want these doors of these masajid to be closed. You're afraid to speak the truth. You say you're not afraid to speak the truth and you will go out and speak the truth. The reality is you're afraid. Okay? And now, what about that other issue now? There's another issue that occurred as well with Ittiba' TV. Ittiba' TV, there's a group of people that are in Ittiba' TV. And one person that's in that group, I can't remember his name right now, Zulfiqar has spoken so much about him. Dislikes him greatly. He says he's buttered, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's jealous of me, and he's this and this. This is one of the teachers of Ittiba' TV. But who else is a part of Ittiba' TV? Zulfikar's friend. Zulfikar's friend is a part of Ittiba' TV. So he butters this guy on Ittiba' TV, but his friend, he keeps silent. Dr. Aqib is his friend. He keeps silent about Dr. Aqib. He keeps silent. But the people who Dr. Aqib will work with in Ittiba' TV, he's going to speak out and say this person is jealous, and this person is this, and that person is that. But Dr. Aqib, he won't speak out against. And you know, one reason what he gave defending Dr. Aqib, you know what his defense for Dr. Aqib was? He said, when no one defended me in the West, Dr. Aqib defended me. When no one defended me in the West, Dr. Aqib defended me. This is what Zulfikar needs to be taught. This is what Zulfikar needs to learn. Allah knows best what he's been learning for the past 20-something years. Okay, it's clear that his knowledge has not benefited him. Just because someone defends you does not mean, okay, that now you're going to remain silent about them if you see that they're aligning with people of falsehood. Doesn't mean you just keep silent. You just keep silent. No. Oh, he used to defend me before. Dr. Aqib should know this as well. Dr. Aqib should know this. That Zulfiqar, make it known to Dr. Aqib that you're not his friend. Let it be known. A lot of these people need to know the reality of Zulfiqar. Dr. Aqib, Zulfiqar is not your friend. Okay? And Nasir al-Libi needs to know this. Zulfiqar is not your friend. Abrar needs to know this. Zulfiqar is not your friend. He may make it seem as if he's your friend, but look at the reality of how he speaks about you people. Look at the reality. It's either he is weak and he knows, or he doesn't know and he's weak. In both instances, he's weak. Okay? And that was the issue with, there's the issue with Ittiba' TV, and that's another whole issue that we can just speak about Ittiba' TV. And we haven't gone deep into the Abrar issue. And we haven't gone deep into the Nasir al-Libi issue. But now, let's go to the Bayan. Let's speak about the Bayan. You know what? Actually, you know what? Let me show you the Bayan quickly. Or a bit of the Bayan. The phone is a bit broken, but we're going to just go through a bit of the Bayan here. If you can see it, it says, this is what Zulfiqar wrote from his Bayan, and you can find this PDF on his website. He says, recently, whilst visiting the UK, some of my students informed me that the general public are becoming confused with regards to my current stance on individuals whom I've cooperated with, been affiliated with, or even appeared on social media with in the past. Okay, Zulfiqar, we need to know who these students are. Because I was the one who's been telling you to make a bayan for 2-3 years, Zulfiqar. Tell me who these students are. Are these students the people that you say are not your students, Zulfiqar? Who are these people? Tell me who these students are, Zulfiqar. Tell me who these people that have been speaking to you about the issues of the West. When you're the one that was praising me about how I was the one that was speaking about these issues in the West. Whilst you're the one that's saying, may Allah make you a scholar. May Allah make you a strong student of Islam. May Allah this and this. Huh? Tell me who's the one that has been speaking to you. Tell me who these students that were speaking to you to make a bayan. Who are these students? Who are they, Zulfiqar? If you were to go and verify with him, Zulfiqar, today, right now, and ask him who these students are, and ask him, was Ashab al-Hadith one of those students? Okay, look at his response. It's either he's going to be a truthful one and say yes, or he's either going to be a liar and he's going to say no. One of them two. Who are these students? Because, number one, how are you saying, he's saying, oh, this person is not my student, he never was my student, that person is not my student, none of these people were my students. So who are these people that were speaking to you about these? Because I know it wasn't those cowards of your cronies that are around you in your circle, because I know those cronies are cowards and they don't speak to you about, they won't speak to you about these issues in the West. I was the one who went out in public, and I was the one who was speaking about Abu Usama al-Dhahabi, Green Lane Masjid, SRI and Co. I was the one who was speaking about Da'waman, Abdurrahman Hassan, and all these people in the West. I was the one, Zulfiqar, that was speaking about, not your cronies that are around you, okay, that like to just cuddle up in a little group. It wasn't your cronies, Zulfiqar. So tell me who these students that you're mentioning in your bayan, who are these students? Are these students the people that you say are jahil, don't know nothing? So what does that make you, Zulfiqar? If these people are jahil and they don't know nothing, what does that make you? Does that not make you a jahil as well, Zulfiqar? Does that not make you a jahil, Zulfiqar? 20-something years you claim to be seeking ilm. Yet, look at what you're involving yourself in. Look at how you're speaking. Look at how you're talking. Look at how you're dealing with things. Your knowledge that you've been claimed to be seeking for 20-something years, and you say, I used to eat onions and I used to eat tomatoes, and you know the stories that he tells about what he used to do in India and the rain that used to come down in India and the struggles that he used to go. Where has that benefited your knowledge? Where has that knowledge benefited you? You talk about all these stories about, I used to do this and I used to do that, and we know how your lessons are, Zulfiqar, where you have to always mention a story about your personal life, that this happened and that. Where has that knowledge benefited you, Zulfiqar? Where you're speaking like this person's a rat and this, and then you're dealing with yourself with stuff like this. Oh, he's a jahil, he's a rawaybid, he's a nobody. And then before that you're saying, may Allah make you a scholar and this, and my students and this. And come on. You know, Zulfiqar needs to get these things straight. He needs to get these things straight. Okay? And this is why I'm mentioning the realities of Zulfiqar to you as a form of nasihat, because a lot of the people don't know his reality as I do. A lot of people don't know him, nor they as close to him as I was. To such an extent, as I mentioned before, he used to tell me things that he would not even tell anyone else apart from me and his closest student, Abu al-Bayhaqi. Okay? So Zulfiqar, he says I'm a coward, he says I'm this, but this is the reality of Zulfiqar. And the people that blindly defend him, that come up with nonsensical arguments, irrelevant arguments to the points that are being made. The people that defend him, some of them have become so blinded, they don't even know that they are being blinded by Zulfiqar. They don't even know that they have a blind attachment to him. And wallahi, Allah is my witness, this is something very severe and something very dangerous for your religion. This is something very harmful for your heart. And you need to fear Allah. You need to fear Allah, and you need to understand, okay, that this is the reality of Zulfiqar. I am someone who was the closest person to him. I defended him, and I was the one who went public. None of his close cronies went out in public because they were cowards to come out in public and defend their own sheikh. They were cowards to come out in public and defend their own sheikh. I was the one that went out and defended the Zulfiqar. I was the one that went out and defended him. I was the one that clarified all these issues in the West. I was the one who was always involved in these things in the West. Not your cronies, Zulfiqar. Your cronies were cowards hiding behind. They were just hiding. That's why I didn't communicate with them, Zulfiqar. That's why I did not speak to them. That's why I didn't call them. I didn't call these people, Zulfiqar. I didn't call your cronies around you because they're cowards. I don't spend my time speaking to people who are cowards. I don't surround myself with such cowards like that, Zulfiqar. But the reality is true. The reason why such people are around you, Zulfiqar, is because that's who you are as a person. That is your reality. You're a person who talk so well about people, but the moment they say something that you don't like, Zulfiqar, they are this and they are bad and they are this and they're evil and they're that and they're this. And you're two-faced. That's the reality, Zulfiqar. You are two-faced. And you like to, use evidence. You try to put these evidences out and this and then a hadith here and this and that. They are against you, Zulfiqar. I haven't seen someone as twisted as him until I started to realize all these points. I haven't seen someone as twisted, and how evil it is that there are people that are blindly attached. There are people that are actually blindly attached to him. He's an alim. He's an alim. Really, he's an alim, yeah? He's an alim, really. He's a scholar, yeah? Well, I've just let you know about the realities of Zulfiqar. Tell me this is how an alim is. By Allah, if you tell me this is how an alim is, then you don't know what an alim is. And you're a jahil and you're a blinded individual. And you want to come and tell me this is an alim. Really, yeah? This is how an alim speaks like. This is how an alim deals with issues. This is how an alim involves themselves in things, yeah? And you want to tell me this is alim. Listen, you don't know Zulfiker. You did not eat with Zulfiker. You did not travel with Zulfiker. You did not go to the home of Zulfiker. Zulfiker did not even tell you things that he didn't tell no one else. I was the one, okay, not you. And I'm telling you of these realities. I was closer to Zulfiker than you were yourself. And I'm telling you the realities. Yeah, the issue is with a lot of these people, they're blinded. And if Zulfiqar does listen to this, he needs to fear Allah and he needs to be very, very fearful that there are people that are going to blindly defend him. He needs to be very cautious that there are people that are going to blindly defend him and go against the truth. By Allah, that is something to be very fearful of. That is something to be very scared of. This is the kind of person, and there are many instances. I've known Zulfiqar for 3 years. 3 years I've known him. There are many other instances that I have not spoken about. I've just briefly touched upon Abrar and Nasir and other things. There are so many things I haven't touched upon. And I can keep going on and on and on and on and on. Okay? On and on and on. But this is the reality of Zulfiqar. He is a two-faced individual. These people that think that Zulfiqar is their friend, he's not your friend. Okay? He doesn't know people who was around him. Or he either does know who's around him and he's weak. Both instances, he's weak. He says that this person is a strong Salafi, strong Ahl al-Hadith like Abrar. No, they're not. And he wants to... And look at this thing, okay? This issue of getting people married. This issue of getting people married. Zulfiqar, if there is any sister, okay? If there is any sister, and this is my advice to any sister or anyone, especially sisters, that try to get married and Zulfiqar recommends you a person, keep away from his recommendations. How many sisters are there, okay, that he, okay, has either got married to people of batteredness, okay, he's got them married, poor sisters, okay, that are now married to someone who is weak in manhaj because of Zulfiqar's weakness, that they are now married to that person. And you know how serious marriage is? How serious marriage is? But Zulfiqar now, it's on his neck. That this poor sister now has to get married to someone who is weak in manhaj, who Zulfiqar himself says is weak in manhaj, who Zulfiqar likes to talk so much about as well. But I'm not going to speak about this person's issue now. And other sisters that he may say, oh, this person is strong Salafi, strong Ahl al-Hadith, and you find out this person, he's not strong Salafi, he's not strong Ahl al-Hadith. Keep away from this guy's recommendations because he's going to harm you and he is going to harm your akhirah. That's the reality of this person. Then he's going to come up with the excuse, I didn't know. I didn't know is not an excuse here. When you judge someone based upon ilm, which you claim to have been studying for 20-something years. Not your weakness that you're upon. Not your weakness that you're upon. You don't know who's around you, or you either know who's around you but you're weak. That's the reality. You can say I'm a jahil, you can say I'm a nobody, you can say I'm a no one, okay? But you are someone who's harmful to the people and you don't even know yourself because of how blinded you are. That's why I kept mentioning Sheikh Muqbil to you, because the difference between you and Sheikh Muqbil is the difference between a mountain and a rock. You are a tiny rock and Sheikh Muqbil is a mountain. That's the reality. You're not a big mountain. You're not an alim. You're not an alim. Sheikh Muqbil was an alim, not you. Because the difference between Sheikh Muqbil and you is that Sheikh Muqbil, his knowledge benefited him. The way he would speak and the way he would deal with the people. Not like you, Zulfiqar, the way you speak. You speak like a random person from the streets. And you deal yourself with things like someone from the streets. You were looking for a sister for a person who had issues, Zulfiqar. Okay? He had issues. By Allah, that would have been harmful for the sister. But you were actively searching for that person, for a sister for that person to get married to. Do you see how harmful you are? This is how harmful this individual is. You can ruin lives. You may have already ruined lives, Zulfiqar. This is how harmful you are. Your knowledge has not benefited you for the 20-something years you claim to be seeking knowledge. You really, really need to fear Allah. And you're going to say, oh, he's a jahil, he doesn't know Arabic, he doesn't know nothing, he doesn't... Zulfiqar, by Allah, maybe it could be that I don't know nothing except this reality that I am making very clear. And even with that, Zulfiqar, you have to accept it, because the truth is the truth. The reality is the reality. This is the kind of person you are. You can't hide it. This is the kind of person you are. If you are blinded to your own self, that is something very, very severe. And that shows the lack of knowledge that you have. Because the one who has ilm, he knows himself. The one who has ilm knows who he is. He knows who he is. If you, Zulfiqar, don't know who you are, okay, and oh, I used to read books for 14 hours, and I used to eat onions when I was in India, or I used to have this in India. And if you don't know who you are, Zulfiqar, then you have not benefited from your knowledge. How can you be seeking ilm for 20 something years, but you don't know the kind of person you are? You know? How can you be a person who claims to be seeking knowledge for 20 something years, but you don't know who you are? You don't know the people that are around you. Or you know the people that are around you, but you're a weak individual. How? And the issue with the bayan issue, I haven't even spoken about the bayan issue as well. I haven't even spoken about the bayan issue. There are many things I haven't even spoken about. But this is the kind of person Zulfiqar is. Maybe you don't know because you just attend his classes and he just shows, you know, he's wearing his shamag, his white shamag, and then he's just going through a book. Maybe that's all you see from him. That's all you know. Maybe that's all you know. But this is the true reality. I'm not the only one that has spoken out. There are many people that were close to him that spoke out. Many people that were close to him that spoke out. That should teach you, who is not close to him, something. You should take heed. You should take heed who is not even close to him. That this is the kind of person he is. And if he is going to deny anything that I said, tell him, come out in public and deny it in public. Come out in public and deny it. And then I and him will go out in public. If he is blind to himself, I am not blind to him. If he is someone who is blinded to his own reality, I'm not blinded to his reality. And I'll make it very clear the kind of person that he is. This is the Zulfiqar that you don't know. You think it's Zulfiqar Memon Instagram account and these posters that come out and these posters that are done by admins. How many admins have come and go, Zulfiqar? Ask yourself the question. How many admins, how many people have you put an admin and they come and go and they come and go? You need to ask yourself the question, Zulfiqar. When all these people keep leaving you, is it them that's the issue or are you the issue? The question and the answer to that question is that you're the issue, Zulfiqar. You are an issue. You are a problem. That's why people don't want to stick around you, Zulfiqar. You are the issue and the problem. Your knowledge has not benefited you. People have seen who the real scholar is, and then they've seen your reality, and then they've run away from you because of who you are. May Allah protect us from being those who seek knowledge for 20-something years, and then we turn out to be like someone like him. There's a big difference between a scholar and then Zulfiqar. There's a very big difference. If you truly know who the scholar is, then you will know the reality of Zulfiqar. He is indeed someone harmful to the people. He is indeed someone harmful to the people. And I will say this the third time, he is indeed someone harmful to the people. And this is my nasiha to you, to all those that are listening that don't know who Zulfiqar is or his reality. This is my nasiha to you. Just like how the Prophet ﷺ informed Fatima bint Qais when she informed him about the people that proposed to her for marriage. And he told her about Abu Jahm. And he told her about Muawiyah. This is my nasiha to you. This is the reality of Zulfiqar. He is someone harmful. And his reality shows very clearly. And if he wants to deny it, tell him come out in public. Be a man and come out in public and deny it. Be a man and come out in public and deny it. And we will truly see who the truthful one is. And to his blind followers that like to just make up excuses, he's an alim, he's a scholar, he's this. I was the one who showed these tazkiyat of Zulfiqar to the public. It wasn't you. You didn't even know who Zulfiqar was until I informed you of who Zulfiqar was. You didn't even know that he was promoted, he was praised until I was the one that made those posts. Rather, those posts are my posts. I was the one that made them public. You don't even know. Don't come to me and tell me about these things. I knew already about these things. But then there are other things that I know that you don't know about Zulfiqar. That's why I'm informing the people. And Zulfiqar, you are someone harmful. There may have been sisters that you have gotten married, but you have harmed them. Sisters that have gotten married, but you have ruined them. You need to fear Allah, because it's very clear that your ilm has not benefited you, Zulfiqar. Your ilm that you claim to have been studying for 20 years has not benefited you. And you can say what you want to say about me. You can say I'm a jahil and I'm this and I'm that. But you need to understand this, Zulfiqar. I was the one who would inform you about these things in the West. You know what? Let's go back to the bayan. Let's go back to the bayan that he wrote. Let's go back to the bayan that he wrote. So Zulfiqar, he says, as I gained greater awareness of the da'wah in the West, I have made observations on the manhaj of those I cooperated. Zulfiqar, who gave you this awareness, Zulfiqar? Who gave you this awareness? Who would speak to you for hours about these issues in the West? Who gave you, as I gained awareness? Who granted you this awareness, Zulfiqar? Who was the one that would speak to you about these issues, Zulfiqar? Who was the one that would be on the phone for hours letting you know about these issues, Zulfiqar? Whether it's Abu Osama Dhahabi or SRI or it's Green A Masjid or what's his name? This Nelson, the guy that from whatever his name is, and all these da'wah man, all these people, who were they? Who were they? Who was the one that would speak to you about these issues in the West? It was me, Zulfiqar. Who gave you greater awareness of the West, Zulfiqar? Who was it? People should ask him that question. Who used to speak to you about the issues concerning the Salafi da'wah in the West a lot? But you say now, I'm a jahil, I'm a nobody. But then you're saying greater awareness. Who was the one that gave you this awareness of the West, Zulfiqar? But I'm a jahil, I'm a nobody, I don't know this and I don't know that. Then again you say, oh, may Allah make you a scholar and 1,000 people are listening to you and this and this and that and that and this and this. And I don't need you to scratch my back. I don't need you to scratch my back. This is your reality, Zulfiqar. You are someone whose knowledge has not benefited. And may Allah protect us from being people who seek ilm and do not benefit from the ilm. May Allah protect us from that. And then he's going to say, oh, he's laundering upon me and he's this and he's that. He's security guard and he's a no one and he's this and he's that. Be a man of knowledge. Deny it and come out in public. Don't be crying like a little baby. Yeah, he's this, and he's doing this, and he's doing that. He's a nobody and don't listen to him and don't waste your time on him and this and this. Don't be like that. Because if you are like that, that just only shows even more that your knowledge hasn't benefited you. This is the reality that you should know, Zulfiqar Memon. And there are so many other things that I can mention, but it's just going to be long and it's going to keep going on and on and on. And I don't know how many things that you need to know about Zulfiqar. I don't know how many realities that you need to know about Zulfiqar to be aware of who he is as a person. I don't know how many things. Oh, Zulfiqar, he's done this thing nice for you. Oh, he's done that thing nice for him. He's done something nice for that person. He's done something nice for that person. Okay, he's done good for other people. But what good is it when you're going to then mention the favors that you've done for others? What good is it? Tell me, what good is it that you Abrar, I took Abrar to India and, I paid for his expenses. What good is it that you're telling me that you paid for Abrar's expenses when you took him to India? What good is it for you to mention the good that you do for others? And this is for the blind followers that say, oh, Zulfiqar has done so much good and Zulfiqar has... What good is it when you have to then constantly mention the good that you've done for people? May Allah protect us from being people who constantly mention the good that others do for them. May Allah protect us from being such people. This is your reality, Zulfiqar. And people who are asking for proofs and evidences, anything that has said, go to Zulfiqar and ask him to deny this. Ask him to deny it. ask him to deny it and tell him to come out in public and deny it. And say, and make an oath by Allah that what I am saying is a lie. And make an oath by Allah that you are denying in truth and that you are not denying in falsehood. Come out in public and deny it. You won't deny it. Because the moment you deny it is the moment where your lies will truly come out. You are a weak person whose recommendations are not to be taken off, who is harmful to the people, whether you like to hear it or not, whether you're blinded from it or not. This is your reality, Zulfiker.